How's it going, guys? ZDEyE here. So I wanted to touch on regarding Death Stranding. Brand new gameplay finally has been released, and it was about like 49 minutes length. Full gameplay. Like there were some bits and pieces that were cut out a little bit, just not to waste time, of course. And Hideo Kojima himself even explained exactly as just what he was showing off as well. Since the beginning of the the gameplay, we've got an opportunity to see how the Death Stranding, how it all like begins, so to say, your adventure. Also, if you guys did not know, there was also a trailer, a briefing trailer, so to say, a footage saying and exactly explaining what is the cause and why you're doing this anyway, why you're going out to the world and trying to reconnect the America once again. And since it's been already tried before, but then things gone bad. I actually think that briefing should not even been there, personally. But I think, it kind of spoilerish. Unless, of course, if you are following the game, then I think you would have known about this already. Now, I just want to touch on as well, since we are seeing the gameplay as well from this, and a lot of people actually might even consider this to be a little bit boring and more of a I put that in quotes, walking simulator. Obviously it's not, there's a lot more to this, and I really like what I saw. A lot of people will actually not really appreciate this, or I even would say that a lot of people don't really like what they saw in here, and they would say like this is super slow type of game. I think I'm gonna get bored out of my mind when I'll be playing this game, for example, and I can see that as well. But again, I am definitely still looking forward to this game. It's so unique to this approach that I never really even anticipated to be, and I'm down for it. Because this uniqueness, such a different type of video game that you can have, an experience anyway, a lot of people may even not like what they saw. And as well, everybody says this, right? Don't judge the book by its cover. At this point, we know so much about this game already, and in fact, we know exactly how this game will turn out to be and how you're going to be able to play it. In fact, it's not even that complicated. Tomorrow's video, guys, by the way, I'm going to be explaining exactly what is Death Stranding and what you do in it. It's going to be a full video about that. So yeah, stick around for it. But in this time around, I want to express my own thoughts and what I think about this 49 minutes gameplay walkthrough. Oh, I should mention this. I think the next day or day after, we will find out even more. It will be like up to another 30 minutes length of extra gameplay for the Death Stranding. So I don't know what that will be about. And so do expect that as well. Now, just the other thing, unfortunately, we did not get an opportunity of seeing this gameplay in the English version, since everything was in Japanese. And as well, Hideo Kojima, obviously, the dubbed version of this and even the gameplay is all in Japanese. In some areas in here, you can actually see that actually there are some English versions in here as well, because it clearly was in the mindset of creating it in English first, and then perhaps even Japanese. But I don't know. A lot of things has been translated, and Hideo Kojima himself even said when he tries to do a story, he does it in Japanese, obviously, then everything has been translated to in English and whatnot. So obviously, when we get to an opportunity of seeing the gameplay and how it goes about, basically, it's elements of the RPG system, not like killing enemies as an RPG. No, not that. I'm talking about of the weight system, mechanics, and the structure and everything like that, right? The cargo that you have to carry, because you are some sort of a esque messenger that you need to be bringing back and forward. A lot of people might consider this quite completely boring and very repetitive, but he does a very well and good job of making it fun in your adventure and your story that you can be progressing through. I like the way there's also an online components being implemented into this game. Since if you're playing this game online, let's say you're still connected, and you still will be able to see equipments and gadgets all around the world. You can even give likes to these equipments that they are, for example, when they are already in that period of that area that it's located anyway, right? You can use it for your own. And if you don't want to, you can dismantle that, for example, the ladder that you can have an opportunity going about, and you need to cross over the river as an example, or you need to go down the ledge or down the cliff as well. You can use your ladder, so you can use an anchor, for example. There's also a lot of things that's been attached to this, such as like, I have mentioned this before already as well, since like the balancing. If you're going too quick or you're going too fast, obviously you need to be taking care of the balance, and everything depends on the weight. Since there is also an exosuit, you can have an exosuit, so this means that you will be stronger or you can be faster, your choice. That's so far that's been showcased. You need to be making sure that your boots, for example, if they're gonna degrade, and will over the time, more you use them, more you walk with them, you need to be replacing them. And because of this, the only way to replace them, obviously you need to be carrying the extra pair of boots on your back, on your shoulder, or whatever you can equip them anyway. Obviously, everything is actually being necessarily taken a step-by-step approach, meaning, since like say you are going to sleep, you need to rest up, and that's when your meter goes up. And for example, you need to take a piss as an example, right? You need to rest up and obviously take a piss wherever, right? There's liters of water where you emptying it out and whatnot, wherever, right? So also I've noticed there was also a bathing that you can do outside, and that kind of was like a little bit questionable. How the heck can you bathe if I thought that the rain, everything it touches, the time passes on, right? Longer the time, right? That's why you're wearing these suits and a hoodie. So why can you bathe outside? That was questionable. Maybe that kind of water is different, or maybe the only time that anything that degrades is since when the rain touches a person or a leaf or ground or whatnot. But anything that stays on that surface, nothing really happens to it. I've also noticed that there were so many implementations, such as like equipments and gadgets on your own you can carry as well. For example, in the world, when you go, you can find those packages that you can carry for yourself. And of course, firstly, because they were contaminated, then you need to decontaminate it anyway. I'm messing up my words, my apologies. You can also, for example, share the locker and everything around the world as you find them slowly. And obviously, there's some things that are always going to be there that you can explore, you can find, and something has been perhaps left behind purposely for the others to enjoy and play around with as well. So that's also another component of the online system that you can have. I've noticed as well that there is some kind of spawn beacon, so-ish, that you can listen to the music, and a lot of people can give it likes as an example as well. And so maybe you want to take away, obviously you want to get away from the rain, so it doesn't actually, you don't get any rain on your face or whatnot, so you don't age too old, if that makes sense. And of course, when you do consider continuing on the fly-ish sort, when you have a package, right, you can equip an exosuit. You can have a speed exosuit, you can have a power exosuit. Obviously for power, you can weight more, you get stronger, and there's a speed exosuit, so obviously you run much longer and faster. And yes, everything can be degraded once again, since you need to be charging them once again, and so you must make sure that you utilize it properly. I also really like the way there were some kind of weird-ish weaponry components and stuff. I really like that, to be honest with you. Basically, there's a weapon that you can shoot and it tangles the enemies around them, trapping them. I don't think it really kills them, it just traps them. And when we were watching the gameplay, like the combat, it was actually pretty refined. In fact, I'm actually a little bit surprised about that. I was expecting it to be like, kind of a like a second thought gameplay to it. No, it will look really good. I also noticed that you can drive pretty much any cars that you see in the world, and that kind of raises my own questions. Can I use this car and put my cargo in the back and or beside me, for example, and carry as much cargo as I want? Obviously, there are going to be some consequences to this. Obviously, cars, you cannot drive them forever. Obviously, wow. Battery, you need to charge them, and as well, if the enemies are trying to use a shock elements or whatever, right? shock damage, right? Some kind of maybe a spear that they throw as they were throwing it anyway. They can disable your vehicles, and I actually really like that. It's a nice touch. I also noticed that when you have a speed exo, it gives you it grants you an ability to jump much further and as well higher. And so yes, as I mentioned it, so the speed exosuit isn't just about the speed. It seems like it's also a bit of power in there. Obviously, you will need power for you to be able to jump that far. Maybe it was actually a power exo, but I don't believe so, because like you would be too heavy for it as well. But I don't know. Also, there was another touch on the BTs, basically, and you know, Hideo Kojima purposely got invaded, if that makes any sense, or got captured, I should say, and so just he wanted to show off what could happen, or what would happen. I also like the way, for example, when you have a cargo on your back, you can actually utilize it, such as, like, say, you can use it as a skateboard, or like a hovering board, I should mention, and that was a very nice approach. Now, back on track regarding the BTs. If you guys remember from the other previous, I think it was a year ago, the Paris game show, anyway, a year ago, we got an opportunity to see Golden Mask summoning that weird line thing, right? Okay, well, we're seeing it pretty much back at it again. This time around, we get to fight it, and I look really cool. Kind of slow, I wanted to mention that. Maybe, I'm not too sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I noticed very much like that the beast was very slow. You had every opportunity and a chance for you to, you know, dodge out the way or get out of his way. And every time, as Hideo Kojima, he kept throwing these grenades, I believe so, and he kept on, you know, slowly but surely, he kept on damaging it, and obviously, at the end of the day, killing it. But still, I really like the way there was, like, for example, if you get captured, you pretty much get summoned into that boss area room-ish. I kind of want to know what kind of rewards would you get, because like it wasn't really well explained or well shown off what kind of rewards you would get from that. Now, I wanted to touch on the other thing at the end of the gameplay that was showcased as well. Oh, for example, like you could drive a bike and everything. It actually looked very responsive and very well thought out, like the balancing and everything in there. I really liked it, actually. But anyway, at the end of the gameplay, I wanted to mention that, you know, Hideo Kojima presented to us yet another encampment, or a different camp. So we got an opportunity to go in it, then we rested up as well, slept a little bit, gone for a shower. Obviously there will be an option to go toilet by standing or sitting. Wow, typical. Anyway, but it's just that as well, because it's such a slow type of gameplay, right, that for everybody to continue playing, obviously. A lot of people may not really appreciate this. And I mean, in some cases I can understand as well, but also others not so much. Personally, for me, I really like what I saw. And now, remember, I have made a couple of days ago a video, I just mentioned that I'm starting to get worried regarding Death Stranding, because Hideo Kojima mentioned he doesn't even know what's Death Stranding. Now, at this point, I'm actually looking more forward to this, because I got a chance to see the gameplay. It's very unique, it's different. That's why people might be afraid of change or different things. That's why they may not even like it. Personally, for me, I'm down for the change. And that's a big thing, personally, again. Well, I'm gonna let you go now. Thank you so much for watching, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys all later, and have a good one.